I mostly read public domain books here on Glenn Reads Books to You, and they were written a long time ago, so they're usually racist, or sexist, or bigoted, but in there somewhere is a story, and that's why those stories are famous. Other times, I read works from independent authors, and they're delightfully not racist, but they might have adult language or adult situations, like, making sex. So that's your warning, but I'm sure you're grown up enough to handle it. Don't write to me complaining. Oh man, they're landing at 8 o'clock, and soon I will have my baby back in their home, just like the good old days. Oh, son of a... Yeah, fine, go on, take a seat. I was just reflecting on the fact that my youngest is coming home from college, and I get to hang out with them tonight, so that's going to be fun. Don't really have time for you, don't have time for cool sound effects, make up a kind of whole story thing. You're just getting old Glenn sitting in his mansion, reading a story, flat, plain, and boring. I don't care. What are you, getting jealous because I'm paying attention to somebody else besides you? Well, you better, because I'm not giving them up for you, you turd. Welcome to the Glenn Reads Gothic Books to You podcast. It's a fun little bit where I pretend to live in a mansion and not just recording in my basement. It is where I read the hottest public domain books and short stories. We're going to continue to read Jane Eyre, an autobiography by Charlotte Brontë. Want to learn a little bit about the author? Yeah, I stole it from Wikipedia. Charlotte Brontë, born April 21st, 1816, died March 31st, 1855, at the age of 38 from corpse water drinking. Was an English novelist and poet, and was the elder sister of Emily, Anne, and Branwell Brontë. Want to hear some fun facts that I stole from worldfacts.com? Well, one of them that they didn't have on their website is I still have a cold. It's been 2 whole weeks since I came back from Canada seeing my youngest, where they gave that diseased city gave me a cold, and I still have the cold. Coughing, sneezing, going through tissues as if they're toilet paper. The novel has been parodied and satirized in various works, including the 2004 film Bride and Prejudice. Oh, that sounds fun. Jane Eyre is often cited as an early feminist novel as it explores themes of female independence and empowerment. Well, that's nice. The novel is also notable for its depiction of mental illness, particularly of the character of Bertha Mason, which we haven't gotten there yet, so thanks for that. Jane Eyre has been praised for its vivid and detailed descriptions of the natural world. Maybe we haven't gotten there yet. I haven't been very impressed with the descriptions of the natural world, but I guess she spends most of her time indoors. So maybe some chapter she's outside, just talks about plants. The novel has been the subject of numerous critical analysis and scholarly studies. That's apparently a fun fact. And Jane Eyre remains a beloved classic of English literature, and its themes and characters continue to resonate with readers today. I only recently found out that Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers put out his own solo album like 10 years ago, and he had a really sad song on there called Helen Burns, and I thought it was like Helen like burns, like burning on fire, some sad lady singing a sad song and whatever. I only, when I was reading this, realized, I think Helen Burns is about the saddest character in this book. So look at Flea. I imagine Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers has read Jane Eyre, and apparently really loved that one sad character. But, thank God. Well, that's the grandfather clock telling me to shut up. Why don't we go down to the library and read this book? All right, well, why don't you take a seat? What are you, jealous? What are you, mad? Because I got other things to do? I got somebody else to hang out with besides you? You are, look at your face. Oh, now you're acting like you're not. You look at your face. Even when you're acting like you're not, I can tell on your stupid face that you're jealous that I have a kid that I actually care about and look forward to seeing. Why don't you just sit there and let me read this story to you so you get the hell out of my house and make room for my child. Chapter 16. I both wished and feared to see Mr. Rochester on that day which followed this sleepless night. I wanted to hear his voice again, yet feared to meet his eye. During the early part of the morning, I momentarily expected his coming. He was not in the frequent habit of entering the schoolroom, but he did step in for a few minutes sometimes. And I had, I hate that, the impression that he was sure to visit in that day. But the morning passed just as usual. Nothing happened to interrupt the quiet course of Adele's studies. Only soon after breakfast, I heard some bustle in the neighborhood of Mr. Rochester's chamber, Mrs. Fairfax's voice, and Leah's, and the cook's, that is John's wife, even John's own gruff tones. Oh, there were exclamations of, "What a mercy master was not burnt in his bed." Oh, it is always dangerous to keep a candle lit at night. How providential that he had presence of mind to think of the water jug. I wonder, he walked nobody. It is to be hoped that he will not take cold with sleeping on a library sofa, etc. Too much confabulation, succeeding a sound of scrubbing and setting to rights, and when I passed the room in going downstairs to dinner, I saw through the open door that all was again restored to complete order. Only the bed was stripped of its hangings. Leah stood up in the window seat, rubbing the panes of the glass dimmed with smoke. I was about to address her, for I wished to know on what account had been given of the affair. But on advancing, I saw a second person in the chamber. A woman sitting on a chair by the bedside and sewing rings to new curtains. Oh, that woman was no other than Grace Poole. And there she sat, staid and taciturn looking, as usual, in her brown stuff gown, her check apron, her white handkerchief and cap. Oh, she was intent on her work, in which her whole thought seemed absorbed, on her hard forehead, in her commonplace features. There was nothing either of paleness or desperation one would have expected to see making the countenance of a woman who had attempted murder, and whose intended victim had followed her last night to her lair, and, as I believe, charged her with the crime she wished to perpetuate. I was amazed, confounded. She looked up while I still gazed at her, with no start. No increase or failure of color betrayed emotion, consciousness of guilt, or fear of detection. She said, "Good morning, miss," in her usual phlegmatic and brief manner, and taking up another ring and more tape, went on with her sewing. "Oh, I will put her to some test," thought I. Such absolute impenetrability is the past comprehension. "Good morning, Grace," I said. "Has anything happened here? I thought I heard the servants all talking together a while ago." "Only master had been reading in his bed last night. He fell asleep with the candle lit, and curtains got on fire, but fortunately he awoke before bedclothes or woodwork caught and contrived to quench the flames with water in the ewer." "Oh, a strange affair," I said in a low voice. Then, looking at her fixedly, "Did Mr. Rochester wake nobody? Did no one hear him move?" She again raised her eyes to me, and at this time there was something of consciousness in their expression. Oh, she seemed to examine me warily, and then she answered, "The servants keep so far off, you know, miss. They would not be likely to hear Miss Fairfax's room, and yours are the nearest to master's. But Miss Fairfax said she heard nothing, and when people get elderly, they often sleep heavy." She paused, then added, with a sort of assumed indifference, but still in a marked and significant tone, You are young, miss. I should say a light sleeper. Perhaps you may have heard a noise?" "I did," said I, dropping my voice so that Leah, who was still polishing the paints, could not hear me. "And at first I thought it was Pilot. The pilot cannot laugh, and I am certain I heard a laugh, a strange one." Oh, she took a new needle of thread, waxed it carefully, threaded her needle with a steady hand, and then observed with perfect composure, "It sounded like master would laugh, I should think, miss. When he was in such danger. You must have been dreaming." "I was not dreaming," I said with warmth, for her brazen coolness provoked me. Again she looked at me, and with the same scrutinizing and conscious eye, Have you told Master that you heard a laugh? She inquired. Well, I have not had the opportunity of speaking to him this morning. You did not think of opening your door and looking out of the gallery? She further asked. She appeared to be cross-questioning me, attempting to draw from me information unawares. The idea struck me that she discovered I knew or suspected her guilt. Oh, she'd be playing some of her malignant pranks on me, and I thought it advisable to be on my guard. On the contrary, said I bolted my door. Then you're not in the habit of bolting your door every night before you go to bed? Fiend! She wants to know my habits, that she may lay her plans accordingly. Indignation again prevailed over prudence. I replied sharply, Hitherto, I have often omitted to fasten the bolt. I did not think it necessary. I was not aware of any danger or annoyance was to be dreaded at the Thornfield Hall, but in future, and I laid marked stress on the words, I shall take good care to make sure all before I venture lie down. Be wise to do so, was her answer. This neighborhood is as quiet as any I know, and I never heard of the hall being attempted by robbers since it was a house. Though there are hundreds of pounds worth of plate in the plate closet, it is well known. And you see, for such a large house, there are very few servants, because Master has never lived here much. And when he does come, being a bachelor, he needs little waiting on. But I always think it best to err on the safe side. A door is soon fastened, and it is well to have a drawn bolt between one and any mischief that may be about. A deal of people, miss, are for trusting all to Providence, but I say Providence will not dispense with the means, though he often blesses them when they are used discreetly. And here she closed her harangue. I long one for her, and uttered with the demureness of a quakeress. I still stood absolutely dumbfounded at what appeared to be her miraculous self-possession and most inscrutable hypocrisy when the cook entered. Miss Poole, said she, addressing Grace, the servants' dinner will be soon ready. Will you come down? No. Just put my pint of porter and a bit of pudding on a tray, and I'll carry it upstairs. You have some meat? Just a morsel, and a taste of cheese. That's all. And the sago? Never mind. At present, I shall be coming down before tea time. I'll make it myself. Oh, the cook here turned to me, saying that Miss Fairfax was waiting for me, so I departed. I hardly heard Miss Fairfax's account of the curtain conflagration during dinner. So much was I occupied in puzzling my brains over the enigmatical character of Grace Poole, and still more in pondering the problem of her position at Thornfield, and questioning why she had not been given into custody that morning, or at the very least dismissed from her master's service. He had almost as much as declared his conviction of her criminality last night. What mysterious cause withheld him from accusing her? And why had he enjoined me, too, to secrecy? It was strange. A bold, vindictive, and haughty gentleman seemed somehow in the power of one of the meanest of his dependents, so much in her power that even when she lifted her hand against his life, how he dared not openly charge her with the attempt, much less punish her for it. Had Grace been young and handsome, oh, I should have been tempted to think that tenderer feelings and prudence or fear influenced Mr. Rochester in her behalf. But hard-favored and matronly as she was, the idea could not be admitted. Yet, I reflected, she has been young once. Her youth would be contemporary with her master's. Miss Fairfax told me once she had lived here many years, and I don't think she can ever have been pretty. But for aught I know, she may possess originality and strength of character. To compensate for the want of personal advantages, Mr. Rochester is an amateur of the decided and eccentric. Yes, and it's also he's ugly. Grace is eccentric at least. What if a former caprice, a freak very possible to the nature so sudden and headstrong as his, has delivered him into her power, and now she exercises over his actions a secret influence, the result of his own indiscretion, which he cannot shake off, and dare not disregard. But having reached the point of conjecture, Mrs. Poole's square, flat figure, and uncomely, dry, even coarse face recurred so distinctly to my mind's eye that I thought, no, impossible. My supposition cannot be correct. Yet, suggested the secret voice which talks to us in our own hearts, you are not beautiful either. And perhaps Mr. Rochester approves you. At any rate, you have often felt as if he did. And last night, remember his words? Remember his look? I remember his voice! Exclamation point. Oh, I well remembered it all. Language, glance, and tone seemed at the moment vividly renewed. I was now in the schoolroom. Adele was drawing. I bent over her and directed her pencil. She looked up with a sort of start. Oh, God damn it, it's more French. Querez-vous, mademoiselle, said she, vos Deutsch tremblant comme la fuel, et vos joues sont rouges, mais rouge comme des cerises. I am hot, Adele was stooping. And she went on sketching, and I went on thinking. I hastened to drive from my mind the hateful notion that I had been conceiving respecting Grace Poole. It disgusted me. I compared myself with her and found we were different. Bessie Levin had said I was quite a lady, and she spoke truth. I was a lady, and now I look much better than I did when Bessie saw me. I had more color and more flesh, more life, more vivacity, because I had brighter hopes and keener enjoyments. Evening approaches, said I, as I looked toward the window. I have never heard Mr. Rochester's voice or step in the house today, but surely I shall see him before night. I feared the meeting because in the morning, now I desire it, because expectation has been so long baffled that it has grown impatient. Well, this seems as good a place as any to take your fussy, jealous face down to my basement, where I tricked you last time saying that I redecorated. I didn't redecorate. It's bare down there and wet. And I want to let you know about the latest upcoming books from Penguin Random House. I'll see you down there. All right, there you are. Sit down, sit down. Take that sourpuss off your face. Sit in that folding chair underneath that naked light bulb while I stand here underneath this naked light bulb playing my guitar for you. As I let you know about the latest upcoming books from Penguin Random House, the singularity is nearer when we merge with AI, is the subtext, by Ray Kurzweil. First of all, I've got a problem with the title. The singularity is nearer. It should just be near. So that's stupid. And then why do you have to have a subline that says, when we merge with AI? Have a little mystery in your title. Like, do you have to spell everything out to everyone? Okay, so poor choice of title. It's an instant New York Times bestseller. One of the Times' most 100 influential people in artificial intelligence. Clearly not good at writing book titles. The noted inventor and futurist successor to this landmark book, The Singularity is Near, oh, that's why, he thinks he's being cute, explores how technology will transform the human race in the decades to come. Since it was first published in 2005, Ray Kurzweil's The Singularity is Near and its vision of an exponential future have spawned a worldwide movement. Kurzweil's predictions about technological advancements have largely come true, with concepts like AI, intelligent machines, that's just AI, and biotechnology, now widely familiar to the public. In this entirely new book, Ray Kurzweil brings a fresh perspective to advances toward the singularity, assessing his 1999 prediction that AI will reach a human-level intelligence by 2029 and examining the exponential growth of technology that, in the near future, will expand human intelligence a millionfold and change human life forever. Among the topics he discusses are rebuilding the world, atom by atom, with devices like nanobots, radical life extension beyond the current age limit of 120. Reinventing intelligence by connecting our brains to the cloud. Oh, how exponential technologies are propelling innovation forward in all industries and improving all aspects of our well-being, such as declining poverty, and violence and the growth of renewable energy and 3D printing. He also considers the potential perils of biotechnology, nanotechnology, and artificial intelligence, including such topics of current controversy as how AI will impact employment and the safety of autonomous cars, and afterlife technology, which aims to virtually revive deceased individuals through a combination of their data and DNA. The culmination of 6 decades of research on artificial intelligence, the singularity is nearer, is Ray Kurzweil's crowning contribution to the story of science and the revolution that is to come. This singularity is nearer when we merge with AI by Ray Kurzweil. It's paperback for $20, available on May 5th, 2026, from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Bookshop.org, Hudson Booksellers, Parles, Target, and Walmart. It's just a book by a guy. He's in the industry. He's like, I think it's going to go in this direction by this date, back in 1999. Good for him. Who knows if his first book called out all the stuff we're dealing with now. But this new book is just him going, ha, I was right. I've never seen anyone take so much glee in how horrible things are becoming with AI. My kids are having to get a job at some point, and apparently AI is a real problem in trying to get your resume even looked at. But this guy, he's just like, I'm already rich, I don't care. I've already written a book, and people like me. I'm going to write a book about how, like, I was right, and I'll get some more detail about stuff we already know anyways, and that'll just make me look even like I was more right. So there you go, Ray Kurzweil. Fuck that guy. I hate Silicon Valley people. Why don't we go back upstairs, where you can scowl at me, because you're so jealous that I have kids, and we'll continue reading this book. Yeah, there we go. Why don't you get yourself settled? I'll get that look off your face. What? You act like you're surprised I've got kids. I mean, you can tell I'm very, very old. But my new wife is very, very young. I don't know how I pulled that off. I guess I'm incredibly handsome. Yeah, but a very difficult lay, so that hasn't really worked out for her. Why don't we get back into the story? When dusk actually closed, and when Adele left me to go and play in the nursery with Sophie, I did most keenly desire it. Oh, I listened for the bell to ring below, and I listened for Leah coming up with a message. I fancied sometimes I heard Mr. Rochester's own tread, and I turned to the door, expecting it to open and admit him. The door remained shut. Darkness only came in through the window. Still, it was not late. He often sent for me at 7 and 8 o'clock, and it was yet but 6. Oh, there we go. That was a big one. Oh, I'm still recovering. Surely I should not be wholly disappointed tonight when I had so many things to say to him, ! I wanted again to introduce the subject Grace Poole and to hear what he would answer. And I wanted to ask him plainly if he had really believed it was she who had made last night's hideous attempt. And if so, why did he keep her wickedness a secret? It little mattered whether my curiosity irritated him. I knew the pleasure of vexing and soothing him by turns, and it was one I chiefly delighted in, and a sure instinct always prevented me from going too far. Beyond the verge of provocation, I never ventured on the extreme brink I liked so well to try my skill. Retaining every minute form of respect, minute form of respect, whatever, every propriety of my station, I could still meet him in argument without fear or an easy restraint. This suited both him and me. A tread creaked on the stairs. At last, Leah made her appearance, but it was only to intimate that tea was ready in Mrs. Fairfax's room. Thither I repaired, glad at least to go downstairs, for that brought me, I imagine, nearer to Mr. Rochester's presence. You must want your tea, said the good lady as I joined her. You ate so little at dinner. I'm afraid, she continued, you are not well today. You look flushed, and feverish. Oh, quite well. I never felt better. Then you must prove it by evincing a good appetite. Will you fill the teapot while I knit off this needle? Having completed her task, she rose to draw down the blind, which she had hitherto kept up, by the way, I suppose, making the most of daylight, though dusk was now fast deepening into total obscurity. "It is fair tonight," said she as she looked through the panes. "Though not starlight, Mr. Rochester has, on a whole, had a favorable day for his journey." "Journey!" Exclamation point, long M dash. "Is Mr. Rochester gone anywhere? I did not know he was out." "Oh, he set off the moment he had breakfasted. Oh, he has gone to the Lees, Mr. Eshton's place, 10 miles on the other side of Millicote. And I believe that there's quite a party assembled there. Lord Ingram, Sir George Lynn, Colonel Dent, and others. Do you expect him back tonight?" "No, nor tomorrow either. I should think he's very likely to stay a week or more. When these fine, fashionable people get together, they're so surrounded by elegance, gaiety, so well provided with all that can please and entertain. They are in no hurry to separate. Gentlemen, especially, are often in request on such occasions, and Mr. Rochester is so talented and so lively in society that I believe he's a general favorite. Oh, the ladies are very fond of him. Yeah, I know you, and I think his appearance calculated to recommend him peculiarity in their eyes. Yeah, he's got a giant forehead and a long, skinny nose. But I suppose his acquirements and abilities, perhaps, his wealth and good blood, make amends for any little fault of look." "Are there ladies at the Lees?" There's Miss Eshton and her 3 daughters, very elegant young ladies indeed. And there are the Honorable Blanche and Mary Ingram. Oh, most beautiful women, I suppose. Indeed, I have seen Blanche 6 or 7 years since, and when she was just a girl of 18, and she came here to a Christmas ball and party Mr. Rochester gave. And you should have seen the dining room that day. Oh, how richly it was decorated. How brilliantly lit up, And I should think there were 50 ladies and gentlemen at present. All of the first county families. And Miss Ingram was considered the belle of the evening. Hey, you saw her, you say, Miss Fairfax? What was she like?" "Oh, yes, I saw her. The dining room doors were thrown open, and as it was Christmas time, the servants were allowed to assemble in the hall to hear some of the ladies sing and play. Mr. Rochester would have had me come in, and I sat down in a quiet corner and watched them. I never saw a more splendid scene. The ladies were magnificently dressed. Some of them, at least most of the younger ones, looked handsome. But Miss Ingram was certainly the queen. What was she like?" "Tall, fine bust, sloping shoulders, long, graceful neck, olive complexion, dark and clear, noble features, eyes rather like Mr. Rochester's, large and black, and as brilliant as her jewels. And then she had such a fine head of hair, raven black, and so becomingly arranged, a crown of thick plaits behind, and in front the longest. Oh, the glossiest curls I ever saw. And she was dressed in pure white. An amber-colored scarf was passed over her shoulder and across her breast, tied at the side and descending in long fringed ends below her knee. She wore an amber-colored flower, too, in her hair. It contrasted well with the jetty mass of her curls. She was greatly admired, of course. Yes, indeed. Not only for her beauty, but for her accomplishments. She was one of the ladies who sang. A gentleman accompanied her on the piano, and she and Mr. Rochester sang a duet. Mr. Rochester? Well, I was not aware he could sing. He has a fine bass voice. He's got a fine bass voice and an excellent taste for music. And Miss Ingram, what sort of voice had she? Very rich, powerful one. She sang delightfully, and it was a treat, to listen to her. She had played afterwards. I'm no judge of music, but Mr. Rochester is, and I heard him say her execution was remarkably good. And this beautiful and accomplished lady, she is not yet married. It appears not. I fancy neither she or her sisters have very large fortunes. Old Lord Ingram's estates were chiefly entailed, and the eldest son came in for everything almost. I wonder no wealthy nobleman or gentleman is taking a fancy to her. Mr. Rochester, for instance, he is rich, is he not? Yes. But you see, there is a considerable difference in age. Mr. Rochester is nearly 40, but she is but 25. What of that? More unequal matches are made every day. True, but I should scarcely fancy Mr. Rochester would entertain an idea of a sort. But you eat nothing, and you've scarcely tasted since you began tea. No, I'm too thirsty to eat. Will you let me have another cup? I was about again to revert to the probability of a union between Mr. Rochester and the beautiful Blanche, but Adele came in, and the conversation was turned into another channel. Yeah, French. And once more alone, I reviewed the information I had got. Looked into my heart, examined its thoughts and feelings, and endeavored to bring back with a strict hand, such as had been straying through the imagination's boundless and trackless waste, into the safe fold of common sense. Arraigned at my own bar, memory having given her evidence of the hopes and wishes and sentiments I had been cherishing since last night, of the general state of mind in which I had indulged for nearly a fortnight past, reason having come forward and told in her own quiet way a plain, unvarnished tale, showing how I had rejected the real and rapidly devoured the ideal, I pronounced judgment to this effect: that a greater fool than Jane Eyre had never breathed the breath of life, and that more fantastic idiot had never surfeited, not looking it up herself, on sweet lies and swallowed poison as if it were nectar. You, I said, a favorite with Mr. Rochester. You, gifted with the power of pleasing him. You, of importance to him in any way. Go! Your folly sickens me. And to herself, get out of here. And then part of you leaves, and you have derived pleasure from occasional tokens of preference, if equivocal tokens shown by a gentleman of family and a man of the world to a dependent and a novice. How dared you? Poor stupid dupe. Could not even self-interest make you wiser? You repeated yourself this morning, the brief scene of last night. Cover your face and be ashamed! ! He said something in praise of your eyes, did he? Blind puppy? Open their bleared lids and look on your own accursed senselessness. It does not good to no woman to be flattered by her superior, who cannot possibly intend to marry her. It is with madness in all women to let a secret love kindle within them, which, if unreturned and unknown, must devour the life that it feeds it, and, if discovered and responded to, must lead, ingefatus-like, not looking that up, into miry wilds whence there is no extraction. Extrication. God damn it. Listen, then, Jane Eyre, to your sentence. Tomorrow, place the glass before you and draw in chalk of your own picture, faithfully, without softening one deficit. Omit no harsh line. Smooth away no displeasing irregularity. Write under it, portrait of a governess, disconnected, poor, and plain. Afterwards, take a piece of smooth ivory. She's giving herself a lot of detailed work to do. You have one prepared in your drawing box. This is wild. Take your palette. Mix your freshest, finest, clearest tints. Choose your most delicate camel hair pencils. Delineate carefully the loveliest face you can imagine. Paint it into your softest shades and sweetest lines, according to the description given by Mrs. Fairfax of Blanche Ingram. Remember the raven ringlets, the oriental eye. What? ! You revert to Mr. Rochester as a model. Order. No snivel, no sentiment, no regret. That's all ! I will endure only a sense and resolution. Recall the august yet harmonious lineaments, the Grecian neck and bust. Let the round and dazzling arm be visible, and the delicate hand, amid neither diamond ring nor gold bracelet, portray faithfully the attire, aerial face and glistening satin, graceful scarf and golden rose. I'll call it, quote, Blanche, an accomplished lady of rank, unquote. Whenever, in future, you should chance to fancy Mr. Rochester thinks well of you, take out the two pictures and compare them. Say, Mr. Rochester might probably win that noble lady's love, and if he chose to strive for it, it is likely he would waste a serious thought on the indignant and insignificant plebeian. I'll do it, I resolved, the other half of her clearly responding, and having framed this determination, I grew calm and fell asleep. I kept my word. An hour or two sufficed to sketch my own portrait in crayons, and in less than a fortnight I had completed an ivory miniature of an imaginary Blanche Ingram. Oh, it looked a lovely face enough, and when compared with the real head in chalk, the contrast was as great as self-control could desire. Well, I derived benefit from the task. It had kept my head and hands employed, and had given a force and a fixedness to a new impressions I wished to stamp indelibly on my heart. Ere long, I had reason to congratulate myself on the course of wholesome discipline to which I had thus forced my feelings to submit. Thanks to it, I was able to meet subsequent occurrences with a decent calm, which, had they found me unprepared, I should probably have been unequal to maintain, even externally. Well, that's the end of that claptrap. Why don't we go downstairs to the smoking room where we can review what the hell we just read. Well, there you go. Why don't you get yourself seated? I'm sorry, we're all out of cigarettes. Instead, if you take the monkey skull, the top of the head off there on the coffee table, you can see that it's filled with snuff. You get, my wife's birds. The snuff, it's got tobacco, but you inhale it through your nose. I don't know why people did that back then, but that's all I had around the house, so if you want nicotine, you better get into snuff. So what happened in the story? Not much. I mean, every chapter is kind of just got its one purpose for the most part. And this purpose was she wakes up, she's looking forward to seeing Mr. Rochester, and then in the end finds out he's off with a bunch of rich people, and some of them are very attractive. And so she gets kind of jealous, and then, which seems kind of unhealthy, she starts creating what she thinks these women look like in effigy. Would it be kind of cool if she did, I don't know, some kind of voodoo-like magic with it, and then you find out that these people died because she stuck pins through them and stuff? Nah, probably not going to happen. But nope, she just sat around making them an effigy so she could remind herself that she's undeserving of a lord's love. Which she kind of talks about how she's unattractive, but this guy's like really, really, really unattractive. But also, like, if you work at a place with a rich person that owns a manor and he's hardly ever there, and then he shows interest in you, you think in that line of work, you'd be prepared for, if I'm a woman and I'm around and this guy's lonely and horny, and plus it's, the 18 whatevers, most likely he's going to try and have sex with me. So don't take anything he says seriously, because he's probably just going to try and have, because it's the way men were back then. They were just pieces of shit, and they're like, I'm paying you and you got to do it. And so I don't know. But she's got her hopes up. I'm sure this is a fantasy where they get together in the end. I literally know nothing about this story, so this is like all new for me. But yeah, I would just think, like, rationally looking at the situation, even if he's super nice to you and says he got pretty eyes with his weird forehead and his big long nose and his like little pouty lips, he's like, you got beautiful eyes. I'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. Just stay away from me, you pervert. But nope, in this story, she's got her hopes up because it's probably true love, and now she's jealous, and her response to that is to talk to herself in as if it's split personalities, and even give herself instructions to herself to do later that are very detailed to be able to make these people an effigy, and to remind herself that she's not worthy and that she's dumb. Very unhealthy chapter. Just a very unhealthy chapter in general. A lot of it's been pretty bad, but yeah, this one isn't good. I think a psychologist, I'm sure that I should look that up, because I'm running out of fun facts. There's not a lot of fun facts about this book that could go on for as many chapters as this book goes on for. I'm not even halfway yet. So maybe I should start looking into psychological takedowns of Jane Eyre. But, okay, so there's that. Goodbye. Get out of my house. I want to see my kid, and you're taking up space that my kid could be in, so get out of here. Goodbye. I'll see you next week. Well, it appears you found me in the part of the podcast I hate the most, where I tell you all about the places on the internet where you can find me. You can tell I hate this because of the sound effects making it sound like a stormy night in the drawing room of the damned. Now, there's that. Are you cool? I like cool people. It's the reason why I got involved in this business to begin with, just to meet cool people, not losers. So if you're cool, feel free to go over to my website, nuzzlehouse.com. That's where you can find pretty much everything we've ever done, like Gestating the Curious Mind, where my wife and I make paranormal smut, Masterpiece Auditorium, where my wife and I review horrible literature, and Two Books, One Cup, a sometimes D&D podcast, sometimes debate show podcast, with friends like Ben from Words About Books and Elton from Elton Reads a Book a Week. We also have a Patreon that's been under construction forever, so you can give us money to pay our bills. And since I think you might be cool, you can always just email me directly, glenn.nuzzles@gmail.com. But don't email if you're a nerdlinger or a dork. Now, back to business. I can't believe I drank all of them already. There's got to be one left.